Welcome to CCN Midday News. I'm your host, Catherine Christian, and here are some of your top stories for today, April 5th. Nancy Pelosi slams the White House for blocking coronavirus task force. Major Trump donor returns $70 million in coronavirus stimulus aid for luxury hotels. Trump tells desperate Alabama woman who is inches away from eviction, you'll get a better job. Unemployment benefits will be reduced after July 31st. And models shift to predict dramatically more U.S. deaths as the state relaxes social distancing. And death toll rises in Georgia as Governor Kemp reopens the state. And lastly, California shopper in Klux Klan hood alarms customers and officials. Let's get to the news. Speaker Nancy Pelosi on Monday blasted the White House's move to restrict officials leading the national coronavirus response from testifying before Congress, suggesting that Trump's administration might be afraid of the truth. The Trump administration on Monday issued new guidelines instructing coronavirus task force members not to accept invitations to participate in congressional hearings this month unless approved by the White House Chief of Staff, Mark Meadows. The move came after the White House late last week blocked Anthony Fauci, the director of the National Institute of Allergies and Infectious Diseases, from testifying before the House committee hearing scheduled on Wednesday. Nancy Pelosi said that Congress needs to hear from officials handling the COVID-19 response to help lawmakers determine how resources can be allocated in upcoming coronavirus relief legislation. A luxury hotel and resort network owned by a major contributor of President Donald Trump and the Republican Party is returning some $70 million in taxpayers' stimulus money after the outcry. Texas conservatives Monty Burnett network of companies was one of the largest recipients of funds from the Paycheck Protection Program by lawmakers as help for small businesses aimed amidst the COVID-19 crisis. Barnett has contributed only $150,000 to the Trump re-election campaign, according to the New York Times, and he spent $50,000 to hire two of Trump's fundraisers to lobby the administration for bailout funds, reported by a Business Insider. On Friday, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer of New York called the Small Business Administration, which manages the Paycheck Protection Program, to review how Barnett's operation received funds. Barnett said as recently as Friday that he had no intentions on returning the money unless told to do so by the government. But a day later, a defensive statement from Ashford Company, the Ashford Hospitality Trust, Resorts and Hotels, Burnett is the chair of all three, noted that the money was being returned because of rules of being changed almost daily and inconsistent federal guidelines that put companies at compliance risk. The statement said that companies did nothing wrong. The law was intended to accommodate hotel groups by allowing them to apply property by property. The statement also emphasized that the Ashford applied for money in good faith and that it had no intentions on crowding out other businesses from the funds. The Paycheck Protection Program, part of the $2.2 trillion CARES Act, bolstered the economy amidst the pandemic, has targeted mounting controversy as funds have been scooped by major companies, leaving less for struggling small businesses. Perhaps the most disconnected example of disconnectedness. President Donald Trump told an Alabama woman desperate for help that everything will be fine. During a Fox News town hall on Sunday, a woman from Alabama asked Trump what should she do because she's lost her job and is behind on her bills and is close to being evicted. She hasn't gotten unemployment and is still haven't received a stimulus check, but the president claimed all will be well. You will get a job where you can make more money. Frankly, I have a good feeling for this stuff. We have to get back open safely, but as quickly as possible, Trump said. He claimed that she would ultimately, get a better job.
That note, let's hear from our first video questioner. This is Shayna Cruz from Coleman, Alabama.
Mr. President, my name is Shayna Cruz, and I'm a single mother from Alabama. I lived paycheck to paycheck before the virus, but then I lost my job in March. I haven't received a stimulus payment or anything from unemployment. I'm behind on every bill, about to be evicted from my home, and I've had to rely on donations in order to feed my children. I feel frustrated, and I feel scared not knowing where to turn or what to do. What advice do you have for me and others in my situation? Is there more help coming?
Number one, there's more help coming. We have really no choice because incredible people like this are, it's not your fault. I mean, just remember that it's not your fault. And there is more help coming. There has to be. And we want to get it to a point when we open, we're not going to lose businesses. And therefore, more importantly, frankly, we're not going to lose the jobs that run the businesses. So a case like that is an exact, it's really, that's the reason why we have to do more. And we're going to do more. And everybody wants to do more. It's actually on that aspect of it, it's very bipartisan. So the answer is yes, we're going to do more, and you're going to have your job. You're going to get another job, or you're going to get a better job. You get a job where you make more money, frankly, and I think that's going to happen. I think we're going to have an incredible following year. We're going to go into a transition in the third quarter, and we're going to see things happening that look good. I really believe that. I have a good feel for this stuff. I've done it for a long time. We built the greatest economy in the world. The greatest economy, frankly, Brett, and you can correct me if you'd like, but you can't because it's fact. The greatest economy that the world has ever seen. And then one day they said, sir, we're going to have to close it. I said, what are you talking about closing it? Nobody ever heard that. We're going to have to close it. And we did the right thing. I think we saved millions of lives, but now we have to get it back open. And we have to get it back open safely, but as quickly as possible.
Let me ask you about that because you've talked about that moment.
Jobless workers may be getting a sizable unemployment check as a result of recent enacting by the federal coronavirus relief law. A pay boost is unlikely to continue past July. Nearly 18 million Americans are currently collecting unemployment benefits according to the most recent figures from the U.S. Labor Department. That's the highest level in history. The $2.2 trillion coronavirus relief law known as the CARES Act enhanced jobless pay for these individuals. The law raised weekly benefit amounts, increased the duration of the pay, and extended benefits to previously ineligible workers, such as self-employed people. However, the extra cash, currently $600 a week, will end after July 31st. Some states, however, are ending it a week early on July 25th. The federal government is funding the bigger payout to jobless Americans who qualify for unemployment benefits. That's in addition to whatever weekly benefits are paid by the states. The weekly increase is substantially relative to the payouts prior to the CARES Act, according to the labor economists. The average worker received about $378 a week in state unemployment benefits prior to the relief law, according to the Labor Department. The law boosts the weekly total to $978 a week. That is a 159% increase. A key model of the coronavirus pandemic favored by the White House nearly doubled its prediction Monday of how many people will die of the virus in the U.S. by August, primarily because the states are reopening too soon. The Institute of Health Metrics and Evolution at the University of Washington School of Medicine is now projecting 134,000 coronavirus-related fatalities, up from the previous prediction of 72,000. Factoring in the scientists' merged in era, the new prediction ranges from 95,000 to 243,000. Dr. Christopher Murphy, the director of IMHE, told reporters on a call on Monday the primary reason for the increase is many states prematurely relaxing the social distancing. For the first time, Murphy explained the model is factoring in data from 4 different cell phone providers showing a major uptick in Americans going out in public. This risk of mobility in the last week or 10 days is likely leading to the increase in transmission. Monday's update is the 4th since the model's debut in late March. It's been relied on by the White House in recent months because it presents a more optimistic forecast on health system capacity, cases, and deaths than other experts have. Georgia is one of a handful of states moving forward to reopen despite the warning from the public health experts. Some states, including Texas and Tennessee, have seen a spike in new coronavirus cases and deaths following the relaxation of the social distancing measure. A model from researchers previously based out of the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, otherwise known as MIT, previously projected that the death rate could double after lifting social distancing measures in Georgia. Still, Governor Kemp lifted a statewide shelter-in-place order for most residents on the 1st of May, with an exception of the elderly and medically fragile. Since then, there has been a rise in cases, 155 newly confirmed cases of the COVID-19, according to state data, and 6 deaths. At the same time, the number of new cases have been in decline over time after researching and reaching a peak of 898 new cases April 20th. The newest highest was 788 on April 27th and has dropped off significantly since then. Customers and local officials blasted a grocery shopper in the San Diego suburbs who was photographed wearing a Ku Klux Klan hood, apparently to provocatively conform to the county's coronavirus face mask requirements. Several workers in the store in Santa Fe confirmed that the supremacist shopper who'd refused to remove his hood until shortly before he purchased his groceries and left, according to a spokesperson from the supermarket company. Unfortunately, an alarming and isolated incident occurred at the store where customers chose an inflammatory method to wear a face mask cover, the spokesperson said in a statement. Once again, thank you for watching CCN Midday News. Hope you enjoy. Please like, share, and subscribe. Also hit that notification button so you will never miss another news update. Have a great day. Peace.